why they come to see these plays. I think it meets this lack of space that people have to express themselves. I think that is what we are addressing through our theatre and forum theatre, and this space they are getting and the way people enjoy that space and use that space, that is a very inspiring thing for us.
Reaching out to the people is an exercise that has grown out of early forays into rural Bengal. The heterogeneous mix amongst the members brings to the table different aspirations. People come into JANA SANSKRITI for different reasons because JANA SANSKRITI allows them to express opinions. In this way, they find a voice that had been suppressed, or worse, forgotten.
This theatricalization of politics, when this political action is taking place sporadically here and there, we thought that it needs to be organized. So our spectators, they have come together and have formed this Human Rights Protection Committee when we were trying to establish dialogues at various levels in the society. Because dialogue helps an individual or a group to liberate from the oppressions. And dialogue also allows you to speak, allows you to express. So therefore, the moment you get an opportunity to express, the moment you are offered a political space, like we do in our theatre, your thought process is activated. So moment you are thinking, you are actually discovering the qualities you have inside. You thought I should live like a passive individual, like others. But now you understand no point being passive, because I can think, I can analyze, I can explain. I can take a sincere part towards the construction of a new society. So why should I be silent? So that is a discovery for an individual, for the people. So moment that discovery takes place, he always tries to find a space where he can express. So this kind of expression we want, that people should have the opportunity for this kind of expression. And there is a force which does not allow this. They don't want people to grow intellectually. So naturally, they are actually violating human rights to us.
हाँ मेरा वो जाने मेरा वो पारे मेरा गाड़ी चलाচ্ছে एरोप्लेन चलाচ্ছে.
We are trying to bring women out to the forefront. Women are teachers. They even fly aeroplanes these days. We human beings are not here on earth only to eat and exist. There is more to life. There are things to be done to improve the living conditions around us. Otherwise, future generations would go through the same problems that we face now. They would be bogged down by the same stigmas, and it would be a vicious cycle. Something has to be done for the sake of humanity.
দুয়ার বন্ধ করে যারা কাঁদছে কাঁদছে তাদের একবার ডেকে নাও.
জনসংস্কৃতি যা চাইছে যে মানুষের মধ্যে একটা আত্মবিশ্বাস গড়ে উঠুক এবং গ্রামের মানুষদের মধ্যে যারা দলিত শোষিত
JANA SANSKRITI wants to develop self-confidence in the people. They have always had an inferiority complex. They cannot look up and speak for themselves. They have gotten to such a mindset that they feel that there is no point in protesting, nothing will ever come out of it. This deep-rooted sense of resignation is what we want to remove.
আগে ভাবতাম না, তখন বুঝতামই না বাড়ির বউ হয়ে থাকতাম তো।
I never imagined this change. I used to stay at home, completely unaware of the world beyond. Then I began attending JANA SANSKRITI meetings, watching the plays. Soon I was an actress. I performed in Kolkata, in Jaipur, in Mumbai. I began meeting new people. I was able to talk about my work. I've become a new person.
When the riots happened in Gujarat, something happened in my heart. Because now, Gujarat is also my world. Earlier, I would never be bothered.
আমার ডায়মন্ড হারবার ছিল আমার ওপর মানে পৃথিবী একেবারে ডায়মন্ডের উপরে কোনোদিন আমি আসিনি.
Diamond Harbour was the boundary of my known universe. Today, I go to so many places. I have innumerable friends all around me. They are more than friends, they are soulmates. I hope our group never breaks up. The more we work together, the more friends we make. And my world becomes larger and larger.
Ripples have made themselves felt in the seemingly placid village life. JANA SANSKRITI's members bring in changes to their communities. The dynamics within the families are also changing. The men do not accept dowry when they get married. The brides, however, have not won this battle yet. Other very virulent problems like alcohol abuse and wife beating have disappeared. Local activism has led to the destruction of illegal hooch factories in the villages. Domestic responsibilities have become more democratic. Household chores are no longer the preserve of the women.
Koi holo?
মা কি মাস্টার সবটা হয়ে গেছে?
হ্যাঁ হট আচ্ছা
A movement that started in 1985 has today spread over 7 states in India and collaborates with dozens of theatre groups and voluntary organizations in the country and abroad.
तुम्हारे वोट पे नहीं जीतता हूँ मैं, आए बात समझ में? वोट की धमकी मत देना, वोट खरीदता हूँ मैं, जानता हूँ वोट कैसे लिया जाता, समझे? हाँ कैसे लिया? वोट जिससे इतनी सारी दारू और पैसे दिए इसको, तब जाके वोट दिया तुम सबने? हाँ तो सीमा है ना, तो देख ले।
আমাদের গ্রামে প্রচুর যদি 60টা পরিবার থাকে তো 15টা পরিবার
Alcohol abuse has always been an ugly part of my family. My father was an excessive drinker. He would drink everything but water. If my father had continued with his drinking habit, we would probably have lost him by now.
যারা শাসন করেছে বা শাসন করছে তাদের রোলটা ইচ্ছে করে
I prefer to play the role of an oppressor. It reminds me of my father. I'm acting out my childhood experiences, and when I see my stage children act out the lines that I could not tell my father, I feel very happy.
When you see a woman playing the role of an oppressor and you see her doing it really well, then you wonder why why there is so much energy in it. Sometimes I felt, many of these women, I knew them personally quite well. So I would not be able to divorce them from their real life. Sometimes I would feel that after all they are human beings, and maybe sometimes, like a child wants to play the role of a teacher sometimes, or a mother of an adult. The oppressed also wants to play the role of an oppressor and see how it feels. One day, when I was acting, my husband spotted me on stage. When I returned home, I was beaten up badly. But I did not quit. I love acting and I will continue.
গায়ের পাঁচালি শুনতে শুনতে ক্লান্ত হয়ে পড়লেন, সব কথা বলতে গেলে তো রাত কাবার হয়ে যাবে, তাহলে এখানে থামি। তবে হ্যাঁ, একটা কথা না বললে কিন্তু পাঁচালি পূর্ণতা পাবে না। কি বলুন তো, বলতে পারলেন না তো?
After the performances, we used to ask questions to the spectators, and we realized that we didn't have answers to all the questions, and one cannot have answers of all the questions. At that point, one of my friends sent me a book called Theatre of the Oppressed, Boal's first book. Augusto Boal is a Brazilian theatre theorist and director. He realized that propaganda theatre will not actually will not be enough in this kind of situation. So he was exploring, he was trying to explore other kind of theatre. And slowly through a research he came to this point where he discovered this, invented this forum theatre. And not only forum theatre is a performing part of theatre of the oppressed. He has created a process, a dramaturgy, which is a revolution in the world of political theatre. Instead of playing the script, they script the play. So the whole process is very interesting and democratic, and nothing is imposed. It is not a one-way teaching. Actor and spectator, they learn jointly. That was certainly a very major influence on JANA SANSKRITI, and JANA SANSKRITI started practicing this particular theatre in India, and till today he is a very strong influence in our theatre movement. In JANA SANSKRITI's theatre, even today you will find a tremendous influence of the gracefulness of folk art. Folk artists are still our inspiration. I still see folk performances. I still try to find time, so that I can spend some time with the folk artists.
This is not just about opinions, voices, and political space. There is an intense process through which communication styles are developed. JANA SANSKRITI's methodology demands an assimilation of a gamut of techniques. Each group then develops its own vernacular. Like any other form of theatre, JANA SANSKRITI's actors learn the language through practice, which is rigorous, disciplined, and often offbeat. Apart from the basic skills, actors must know how to cope with extempore performance at the forum. They must learn to interact with one another as well as with the audience. There are contradictions and differences, and contexts differ from region to region. It is the people of a region who understand their everyday circumstances best. They can share ideas. The creative challenge is the search for effective expression. This is the road out of inhibitions and self-doubt. The journey towards affirming the human spirit would then have begun.
Instead of talking, now we are acting. Instead of giving answers, we are questioning. Instead of accepting, we are analyzing our reality.
কিছু একটা করতে হবে।
সবসময় তো আমরা ঘরে বন্দি হয়ে থাকি, একটু আনন্দ করি আর কি।
আমার চাওয়ার চেয়ে অনেক মিটে যাচ্ছে।
আমার কথা তো শুনছি, আমারও কিছু তাহলে বলতে পারি।
চেষ্টা করি আমার এই অভিনয়ের মধ্যে দিয়ে
করার সময় না আমার জীবনে
যারা আমার বিরুদ্ধে ছিল তারা এখন
আমাকে যখন মনটা ঢুকে যায় তখন আর ততটা মনে থাকে না।
মন আর বাস্তবের সঙ্গে এক করার চেষ্টা করি।
জানার কোনোদিন শেষ নেই।
হাঁড়ি কলসি এক জায়গায় থাকলে তো ঠকাঠকি হবে।
I just want to add one thing, that we must romanticize the optimism.